it's Emily Rand with ESPN Esports. I am joined by the Minnesota ROKKRs SiLLY after a 3-1 victory over the Seattle Surge. So first of all, I know ROKKRs talked about this a bit on the post-match interview, but what was it like preparing for Seattle with their new lineup?
Preparing before Seattle to play preparing before this event to play the Seattle team was a little bit different since they had a substitute player. So we actually didn't have any VOD footage of them with their actual team, so we pretty much just tried to focus on what maps we were going to play.
Yeah, so a lot of things that people talk about when you look at an event like this where there have already been a lot of roster substitutions and you guys have stuck together preparing is how much do you focus on yourself and how much do you focus on other teams? So what's the balance for the Minnesota ROKKR?
Honestly, most of our focus is always on ourselves. I think like a little closer to the event, we focus more on the other teams. Every single team in our pool has had some kind of drastic change, whether it be role changes or player changes, so it's kind of a little difficult for us to prepare. So
going into this event, you guys have actually been kind of picked as a dark horse victor, including myself, either you or the FaZe. So first of all, talk about your group difficulty, because I feel like people are considering you shoo-ins to get out of your group. And then how likely is it that you can take the entire tournament?
I think it's absolutely mandatory for us to get out of our group. I think we definitely have the weaker group of the two. And obviously, I go in every tournament expecting to win it, so I'm glad we're actually getting some kind of notice from the casters and other outlets.
So how did you guys regroup after the loss in Atlanta? Because I know you took that pretty hard. You guys were really considering yourselves as a favorite to at least end up in the finals, if not take the entire event.
That loss in Atlanta was definitely hard, especially because we were so close. But the bright side of things is that we were that close to beating, the juggernauts that everybody gets absolutely smoked by. So we weren't too upset about it. We know we're just going to improve from there on out, and we'll show that here.
And then how difficult is it to not look, I've been talking to a lot of teams about this, but how difficult is it to not look past other teams maybe towards Atlanta?
Can you repeat that question more?
Yeah, no worries. So in preparing, since obviously you're favored to make it out of your group, and one of your likely opponents is Atlanta, who's the favorite to take the entire tournament. How difficult is it to focus on map by map by map, round by round by round, as opposed to looking ahead?
Me personally, I almost never look ahead because it's one match at a time. Anybody can beat anybody, so we kind of just take it map by map. Our next opponents, I'm assuming, are going to be Optic, but we'll see, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, I've heard they've been doing really well in scrims. Is that also what you've heard?
Yeah, they've actually been really good in scrims lately. They had a pretty big role change, and their main AR is a main AR, as he should be now, so they're definitely playing a lot better. Hopefully that carries over for them, except not against us.
And then how was your travel here? Because I know a lot of people have been talking about concerns around the coronavirus with teams traveling. Just what was that like? What's been different about this event? What precautions have you taken?
I think everybody's taking the same kind of precautions. We're trying to limit the fist bumps. Everybody has hand sanitizer, just things like that. I wasn't too worried about the travel through the airport or anything.
Okay, you were prepping your stomach with airport sushi,
yes.
So
Yeah, and no, I'm not sick yet, so let's keep it that way.
All right, well, stay healthy. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
And for more Call of Duty League coverage, keep it here on ESPN Esports.